Another huge benefit is the increased sense of control. When you use birth affirmations during labor, you will feel more capable to give birth and therefore more in control of your birthing experience. So, in other words, believing that you can do this will quite literally help you do it with a greater sense of control and less fear. You're listening to the Mommy Labor Nurse podcast, where you'll gain the tools, knowledge, and confidence you need to erase the unknowns, feel in control, and have an even better birth, no matter how you deliver. My name is Liesl Teen, mom of two, practicing labor and delivery nurse, and your host. From over 8 years and counting of working at the bedside, I know that knowledge is the key to an even better birth. So tune in each week to learn about all things pregnancy, birth, and postpartum from me, a labor and delivery nurse that's seen it all. And now let's get into this week's episode. This week on the Mommy Labor Nurse podcast, I am going to talk about one of my absolute favorite things, birth affirmations. And no, I'm not kidding. I'm actually obsessed with them. And I know how much they can help you manage your labor pain. You see, our minds can be one of our best assets to help manage the pain and anxiety associated with childbirth. And birth affirmations are one of my favorite ways to tap into that mental strength. So what are they? Simply positive words and statements about the birth process that can give you extra confidence, a sense of calm, and even impact your perception of pain. To get the most out of using birth affirmations during your labor, I recommend repeating them regularly leading up to birth and then actually saying them aloud. I promise it does make all the difference. Then, during labor, you can say them out loud, listen to them, read them, or simply think them. But we'll get more into that inside the episode. So stay tuned to hear all about the benefits of birth affirmations and how to use them. You'll also find a list of some of my favorite birth affirmations, plus free printable birth affirmation cards for your big day. And after this episode, keep learning about mindset tips for birth in episode 106, where Natalie Bacon came on the show to talk about mindset tips for pregnancy and birth, and in episode 154, where Chelsea Roberts from Peloton came on the show and shared her knowledge about meditation and yoga for pregnancy and birth. All right, now let's get into this week's episode. There has actually been a lot of interesting research looking at the impact of positive birth affirmations on a woman's labor experience. Can you even believe that? Studies have considered their use leading up to labor, during labor, while pushing when someone else says them during labor, and so much more. And guess what? Across the board, there is a lot of evidence out there for just how impactful birth affirmations really are. So let's take a look at a few specific examples. So number one, reduced anxiety and fear. Using birth affirmations during labor can help really reduce your anxiety and fear, which can lead to, obviously, a more positive birth experience. A study that was published in the International Journal of Nursing Practice found that women who used positive affirmations during labor reported less anxiety and stress than those who did not use affirmations. Pretty cool. Another study found that mamas who use birth affirmations, specifically prompted by flashcards, reported less anxiety and fear during childbirth than those who did not use birth affirmation flashcards. And fun fact, I had to record that 3 times to get it right. I kept saying, I don't even know, flashcard. I just couldn't say the last part right. But yeah, flashcards. I feel like that makes a lot of sense because you're not only thinking it, but you're reading it, you're seeing it, and you're probably maybe saying it. So it makes sense that it would help if it were actually visually apparent. Another huge benefit is the increased sense of control. When you use birth affirmations during labor, you will feel more capable to give birth and therefore more in control of your birthing experience. Are you interested in the possibility of an unmedicated birth? Make sure you grab my totally free natural birth prep pack. It's full of free printable resources to help you start preparing for your even better birth. Inside the pack, you'll get access to our super popular hospital bag checklist so that you know your hospital bag is stocked with everything you need for the big day. You'll also get our traditional and visual birth plan templates to help you think through all the questions related to your birth and gain the sense of control you deserve. You'll get exclusive MLN birth affirmation cards, one of my favorite ways to tap into that mental strength during natural birth. And finally, you'll get a third trimester to-do list to feel completely at ease heading into labor, knowing you've checked every box. To grab all of this for free, simply head on over to mommylabornurse.com/naturalpack. That's mommylabornurse.com/naturalpack to access your free natural birth prep pack today. A study actually published in the Journal of Obstetric, Gynecologic, and Neonatal Nursing looked at the effect of childbirth self-efficacy on perinatal outcomes and found a positive association. So, in other words, believing that you can do this will quite literally help you do it with a greater sense of control and less fear. It's all about that mindset, guys. That's why I talk about it so much. I'm telling you, it's really so mindset based. Another huge benefit is increased strength and endurance. Another study looked at the impact of birth affirmations when they are repeated by a partner or a support person during labors. And these mamas reported feeling, quote, heightened endurance to remain focused during childbirth. Again, makes sense because you're constantly hearing it, right? And finally, and probably the most important benefit, are improved outcomes. Using affirmations during labor can lead to better birth outcomes. A number of studies have found that women who used birth affirmations during labor had shorter labors, specifically a shorter second stage of labor, aka pushing. And there may be a link between the use of birth affirmations and lower instances of medical intervention as well, which makes sense. I mean, maybe it's not just the birth affirmations that are reducing your time length of pushing, but it's probably that people who are more likely to use birth affirmations maybe are more likely to not use interventions. And we know that certain interventions like epidurals can increase your pushing time, but who knows? So how do you use birth affirmations? Now that you got the proof, the evidence, there's really something to these birth affirmations. Let's talk about all the different ways that you can use them because it's not just speaking them. So in the weeks leading up to your due date, yes, using birth affirmations in the weeks leading up to your due date will help prepare you for a positive birth experience and reduce anxiety. This is where we can really bolster your self-efficacy when it comes to childbirth. Yeah. So here are some tips on how to use birth affirmations before that due date or before you go into labor. First of all, choose affirmations that really resonate with you. Start by selecting affirmations that resonate with your personal beliefs and goals for your birth experience. Don't be saying things that you don't really feel. Repeat affirmations regularly. So once you've chosen your affirmations, make it a regular practice, whether it's, at the beginning of the day or at the end of the day or before you eat lunch. But anytime you want to repeat them to yourself every day, you can say them out loud or just silently in your mind, just think it. Try to use them during a routine or habit that you already have in place. Like I said before, right after you wake up or while you're brushing your teeth, and then you won't forget. It's also helpful to write your affirmations down. Yep, because if I don't write stuff down and it's right in front of me, I will forget. So in addition to saying your affirmations out loud, writing them down can also be a helpful way to reinforce and remember them in your mind. You can write them in a journal, on a little sticky note, and stick it on your house or on your bathroom mirror or on a vision board. I've seen some mamas get, really crafty, cute little shrine, right? And then finally, another way to use them is during relaxation, meditation, or during breathing exercises. So incorporating these affirmations into some practice sessions for managing labor pain can be super, super helpful. It kind of gets you in the zone thinking that, okay, I'm practicing breathing during labor, and I'm also going to be practicing telling myself how good of a job I'm doing. Another time to use birth affirmations is during early labor at home. This is a time to use those affirmations to help keep fear and anxiety at bay, because a lot of times when contractions start, you're in a little bit of pain, but this is game day and you're a little nervous. So these birth affirmations can really help you stay focused and reduce your anxiety. All right, the sound of that heartbeat means it's time for this week's segment of Birth It Up Babies. This one says, Liesel! Exclamation point. I did it. I took the natural course and had my over 9-pound exclamation point, daughter completely unmedicated on Thursday. Between my active labor being quick, my amazing midwife, and your course, I actually did it. Oh, she's so excited. I started to lose it and get screamy at the very end during pushing, but my husband keeps talking about when I labored in the tub, every muscle in my body was relaxed. Total bathtub ragdoll. I love it. I love it. I'm still amazed with myself. Thanks for all the education and encouragement you provide. I know I say this all the time after my Birth It Up Babies, but I get goosebumps and I don't read these beforehand. Like one of my team members just drops these into wherever I just read them and I don't see them beforehand. And it's just so cool. It's just so cool. So if you want to have an even better birth, just like this mama, head on over to mommylabornurse.com/courses to learn more about our 3 online on-demand birth courses. So here are some tips on this time frame. Choose affirmations that resonate with you, but that are also calming and reassuring. So ones that, will help calm your nerves, or ones that remind you that your body knows how to give birth. And repeat your affirmations during your contractions, okay? During early labor, you might experience mild contractions. So use birth affirmations during these contractions to distract you from that discomfort and keep you focused on the positive aspects of the birthing process. And that goes for later in labor as well. And use these affirmations to visualize a positive birth experience. Yes, visualization is a super powerful tool for reducing your anxiety and increasing feelings of confidence. So use your affirmations to visualize a positive birth experience. Imagine yourself calm and confident going into the hospital and giving birth to your baby. Okay, now while you're at the hospital, also a great time to use birth affirmations. You don't have to just use them at home. So the advice that I give people on these birth affirmations are to pick ones that are super empowering. Because during active labor, the pain of contractions can be rather intense, right? And as you get to transition, it can be really overwhelming. So choose affirmations that will help you feel empowered and really in control. Again, just like early labor, you're going to repeat your affirmations with each contraction. Another tip is to use these affirmations to visualize your progress. So visualizing your progress can be a really helpful tool to stay motivated and stay really focused during labor. Use your affirmations to visualize yourself moving closer to the end of labor with each contraction. For example, you might say, each surge or each contraction brings me closer to meeting my baby. See how that's more of a progress one. And then another tip is have a support person help you, of course. Yes, having a support person to remind you to use your affirmations during your active labor transition can be super, super helpful. They can provide encouragement, help you stay really focused on your goals. And this might even be something to explicitly list on your birth plan, like, hey, these are my birth affirmations, or hey, I really want my partner to say these birth affirmations, or however you want to say it. And then finally, a good time to use birth affirmations is when you're actually pushing out your baby. Now, these affirmations, you want to pick ones that focus on your strength and your ability to birth your baby. It can be really helpful to choose affirmations that remind you of your strength and your ability to birth your baby. So, for example, like ones that say, I'm strong, I'm capable, I can do this, my body knows how to give birth, that kind of stuff. Another tip is using vocalization to manage pain. Yeah, making vocal sounds during labor can really help to manage pain and keep focus. So experiment with different sounds like low moans, or how about high-pitched tones? Low moans are usually a little bit better, but see what feels comfortable and effective for you. The pushing stage can be really physically exhausting, right? And birth affirmations can help to enhance your motivation and determination to keep on pushing that baby out. So by repeating affirmations that remind you of your strength and your ability to do this, you can stay motivated and committed to bringing your baby into the world. Okay, do you want to hear some birth affirmations? I'm just going to list them out. Again, these are ones that are also downloadable, right? You can just click the show notes and you can download all 20 of these birth affirmations on little cards, okay? And I actually did that and I laminated them and I put them like on a little ring. But yeah, totally free to download. Just go to the show notes page. Okay, you ready? Alexa, put on some birth affirmation meditation music. Each contraction has a purpose. Breathe in strength, breathe out confidence, breathe in peace, and exhale tension. I am proud of myself, however this birth unfolds. Relax my body, release the tension. Every contraction brings me closer to meeting my baby. Every wave of discomfort brings my baby closer to me. I'm opening up and baby is coming down. My body knows what to do and I trust my body. My body is built for birth. I can do this. I am surrounded by strength and positivity. I am safe. I am more powerful than I know. This is productive pain. I am strong. These contractions are powerful and I am stronger. My baby is coming. I am ready to meet them. I am capable of birthing this baby. I can do hard things. This too will pass. This feeling is temporary. It won't last forever. My baby is coming down and out. My body is moving them down and out. Soon my baby will be in my arms. Yay! Wasn't that good? I feel a little more calm now. Well, that was the episode, guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. Next week on the Mommy Labor Nurse podcast, stay tuned for a birth story. Yeah, we are going to hear from a member of the MLN community that reached out to me and I had her, just come on and talked about her birth. It's going to be a really cool experience. So I will see you guys next week. Already feeling a little more confident about pregnancy, birth, and newborn life? Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you can continue to erase the unknowns and never miss an episode. And if you're looking for even more, Instagram is definitely where I hang out the most. Come join our community of more than 500,000 moms for birth education, tips, and solidarity. You can find me at mommy.labornurse. Check out today's show notes and a searchable library of every Mommy Labor Nurse podcast episode at mommylabornurse.com/podcast. And while you're there, be sure to head to the blog to learn about our online birth classes too. See you next week. And remember, you can have an even better birth no matter how you deliver.